Episode 543, the 20th of July, 2017. And boy, I don't know about you, but it is getting cold. Here, even here on the Goldie, it is, I don't know, 8 degrees, something like that. And I know you guys are probably colder wherever you are. All right, thanks for joining us this week. We've got heaps of stories to get through. We all brought to you by ATH Web Hosting as per normal. Well, look, we've got heaps of stories. We've got stories about Windows 10 support. Australian government's got their fingers in security pies again, and some NASA archives. But we're going to tell you all about that as we go along. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads or youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads, or listening to us on the TuneIn Radio app, which is cross-platform. Get it, load it, and search for Aussie Tech Radio or search for Aussie Tech Heads. And we're also on Spotify. We're everywhere. So we've got whatever platform you desire, we're pretty much there. I don't know how we get everywhere, but that's what happens. Get us on Twitter at Aussie Tech Heads, at Glenn Goodman, or at Aussie Tech News if you want some little news stories in your feed every now and then. And the other shows, Aussie Mac Zone, Obsidian Loft, Alpha Geeks, and Aussie Tech Security. Me and Roger are getting together again this week to put another episode out, and he's got a little security conference he's getting along to. And I think if he's still got some free tickets, you better hurry up and email him. But just listen to the last episode of the Aussie Tech Security for more information about that. They're probably all gone, but you never know. Never know your luck in a big, cold Canberra city. All right, let's get on with the show and welcome who we've got on the panel this week. We've got Jason and Eric. Let's go to Jace first because he's number one on my list. Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good. What have you been up to? Missed you last week, but you're all back fighting fit.
Yeah, had a bit of a holiday with my daughter, and then she decided to move back in with me again. So
Excellent.
we got to set up the school she went to for a couple of months last year, and she's going to be here till end of high school. So very exciting.
Yes, good work, and I hope that you put on some good weather for her. What's the weather like where you are?
Pretty good actually. Yeah, a little bit cold at night, but most of the time it's pretty good and starting to warm up again.
Excellent.
It's feeling a bit hot in here, 21. I feel like I'm burning from just this side of me.
All right. Jason's sitting in front of a green screen with a picture of the sun. So there you go.
No, it's the real sun.
Oh, okay, yes.
Well, I'm going to say something stupid now. You must be very flexible, Jason, because just over your left shoulder is Uranus.
Eric's been perving on it all night.
I'm an acrobat. No.
Yes.
Now, you need to be watching the video to get that joke.
Yes, yes. Otherwise,
Because just over his left shoulder is Uranus.
Because if you're just on the audio, you're thinking twice about Eric's position in life. Now,
That's right.
And if
Very,
you have
very,
any
very sad
complaints,
life.
please contact Eric at...
Eric at sicko.com.
He likes getting emails, I hear.
he does. He loves it. He loves it.
I love emails. I love well thought out and non-biased emails. I love them.
All right. Now, look, just before the show, we got talking about, I don't know how, but we got talking about Kogan TVs because the Kogan's brought out a new 75-inch TV, and I think it was for $19.99. And I think the big buzz, Jace, was what, because it's under $2,000. Is that right? Is that what the big buzz was all about?
Apparently, pretty good one. Yeah, I think it was EFTM did a review on it. They thought it was all right.
Oh yeah, and I think Eric, you weren't happy. you were going off about the size of it. You said you wouldn't buy a 75-inch. Too big?
No, I wouldn't. No,
too big. So what,
too big.
Huge. So what sort of circumstance would you? So you wouldn't have a projector room, or I suppose that's a bit different. I suppose projector room.
Oh, if you had a projector room, I could put a projector in one of the rooms here now, but I just don't like making TVs the center of the universe.
Yeah, bad feng shui.
Mine it's good enough.
Yeah, all right. So that's that. Because Kogan, look, as you know, I've been up and down with Kogan TVs, but I saw this week Audi has. I'm talking about high budget TV purchasing here, aren't we?
Yeah, what are they selling this week? Leotards, exercise bikes.
No, this week Audi's got a big
rice
TV.
cookers,
dumbbells.
No, just egg flips.
Is it Onyx or Bound?
I think it's a. Is that how you pronounce it? Bound.
Or Born?
Yeah, I've been going Born, as in Matt.
That
Born show, Born Identity show. Now, yeah, it's 60-inch or 59 inches. It's, I think, $799 at Audi. I don't know. I might have to get one. I'm going to have to get one. I just can't. I can't handle it anymore. I'm looking at Kogan. At least if this one doesn't go properly, I'm not happy with it. I don't have to post it back to Kogan. I can just take it back to the little Audi.
Trying to slide that in the post box is a bit hard.
That's right. I know they get.
Do they have written on the front of it, "Please do not fold"?
Yeah, they do too. You're not allowed to fold them, and
You can't trust the postie; he'll still fold it.
Oh, they'll fold anything.
They do. I know. I used to be a postie.
Here's one for Glenn. Here's one for you, Glenn. howtopronounce.com/BAUHN.
Oh yes. Is that on a?
That'll settle it for you.
Is that?
Borchten.
Hang on. Let me go. How to? Hang on. How to?
howtopronounce.com/BAUHN.
Hang on. Is that? Can
Press
you do
play
that?
and capture the audio?
Can you do that to any word? Can you?
Probably,
Oh well. Let's see.
as long as they put it in their lexicon.
Okay. Well, let's start off with an easy word. Enter a name to pronounce. Well, let's go. My
Well,
name.
it's good.
Let's go my name.
BAUHN. We were going to do that for the TV.
I will. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Glenn. Pronunciation in English. Play. Oh, geez. A few steps here. Play.
Glenn.
I don't know if you heard that, but that sounded all right.
Didn't hear a thing.
Okay, well, just you have to believe me that it did sound okay. Now,
Watch it on the podcast.
Yes, I'll do Born, B-A-U-N, and I'll tell you how it says it.
BAUHN.
No, is it?
I think so.
Okay, B-A-U... Hang on, go back. B-A-U-H-N. Pronounce.
Yep.
You got to click about 500 times before it'll do it. Pronunciation in English. Here we go. No. Hello, no?
One of the ones I did says bone.
Oh, well, let's try this middle one here. No.
Bone.
Bone. That's the one.
Bone.
Barn. Barn.
For all our audio
Barn.
listeners, thank you for sticking around with us for this period.
All right, let's get out of there then. One of them was bone. I don't know how they get bone out of that, but anyway. But there you go. There's our
There's
weekly.
a website, pronouncekiwi.com. Don't listen to how they might pronounce it because it'll be like $6.
Throated sounds like what you call that? Who sound like what's his name? Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Throated dog a bone.
All right, so look, that's our weekly Audi catalogue walkthrough. Now let's have a look at older PCs. They're about to get cut from the Windows 10 support.
How old, Glenn? How old?
Well, it can be as old as only up to about 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Yes. 3 or 4 years, computers have been caught out by the Creators Update, Windows 10. So
This is why I've been having problems at my office.
No,
Works fine on mine. Mine's about 4 or 5 years old.
I can't upgrade to 1703. I'm stuck on 1511.
well, that's the really old one. Well, you'll have to have a talk to me because I'll tell you what to do. But there's 3 to 4 year old computers that have been stuck with the Creators Update. Throws a message up saying that Windows is no longer supported. But look, it's not because of your computer down in your office, because I'm sure it's not an Atom processor, and it's only
No.
you wouldn't think so. It's a little you got a little netbook down there that you tap away on.
Yeah, 2005 netbook. No, I've got an i5,
He's got a Pendo,
but it's about 4 years old.
My desktop's at i5, about 4 years old.
Yeah,
Eric's got a
and I can't get 1703 on mine.
Eric's got a Pendo pad that he does all his work on. You should do a review. And
You got a problem with your pads?
Oh,
it was funny.
is that what George Pell uses? The Pendo pad?
He might. I don't know what he uses. He possibly does. And I thought I saw you, Eric, through the week. I sent you a picture of your car. We're talking about you. And
What was that? What was that? What was the car? What was that picture again?
that was the Fiat. And
Yeah, what was the number plate?
it was something like Weezer or something. I can't remember. But it was
I
just.
tax you.
It was only we were talking last week about something about you and Fiats. I remember, and then I saw a Fiat, and I just had to take a
When
picture.
when were we talking about Fiats?
Last show, I'm pretty sure we were going on.
No,
Wasn't it? It was sometime.
You'll have to watch it now, Glenn.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure it was last week. Yeah, you said, "Oh, you and your car," and I said, "Oh, that's right. You look pretty good in that Fiat of yours." And then I saw one.
Oh, no. I said, no, but I don't have a Fiat, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
And we have a bit of a giggle.
That's right. All right, but anyway, this computer's powered by the Intel Atom's Clover CPUs, and there's a little list of them there if you want in the show notes to have a look at. But realistically, if you know you're trying to go to Creators Update and it doesn't work, you probably got one. So which are typically the early 2-in-1 devices. They're able to install all the Windows 10, the anniversary update, but they bomb out with the Creators Update. So each Windows 10 installment promises security fixes, as you know, but it promises for the 18 months after the edition's launch. So that's interesting. I didn't know that, but anyway, there you go. So that means that the version of Windows that the Windows 10 That means that support for the version of Windows 10 that Atom Clover Trail owners are stuck in will theoretically end early next year. So Microsoft has, at time of this report, has not confirmed whether the issue will be fixed or not. I don't know. I reckon they should fix it. If the machine can run it, like physically run it, why not?
Yeah, it's got the physical specs to run it, and it's just a driver or a software firmware thing. Just get it
sales
going.
to Microsoft. Why wouldn't they want it?
But remember in the old days, you used to have to... the old days, you'd read the side of the packet and it'd go, oh, the minimum requirements, system requirements for Windows, whatever, or Office or whatever, and it'd always be just not right. It would just
go... And a floppy drive with 95 discs to go in it.
Yes, but it would also... It would give you the specs of a computer that would run it, but would run it like a hog. It'd be just a slow dog run. And then you have to really get into the recommended specs. So maybe this is what they're trying to do here is like they don't want their product running on slow machines like dogs. Do you reckon you think that might be part of it? So they're just going...
Yeah, because everyone thinks, then everyone blames the software. Oh, bloody Windows 10 so slow when it's not the software.
That's right. So maybe that might have a bit of a part to their logic. Who knows? But all these things. If it's running Windows 7, it should be running Windows 10 easy enough. Yeah.
Good old Windows 8. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, Windows 8. Jeez, remember the first edition of Vista? That was terrible. But anyway,
I was working on a friend's laptop a couple of days ago, and he brought it over and still got the Windows 8 with the tiles and stuff. I was like, I feel dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You think, I want to smash something.
Yes. It is a bit hard, isn't it? And everyone used to put on that shell access or something. Not shell
classic
access.
shell.
Classic
something.
shell. That's it. Yeah, classic shell. That's right. And I reckon that used to stuff everything up. But anyway, what have you found this week, Jace, that you are quite interested in talking about?
Well, as one of the world's most popular shows, Monday night's premiere of Game of Thrones Season 7 was always going to attract a lot of attention. But no one expected the demand would be so high that every legal streaming service around the globe with exclusive rights to the show, including HBO's own website and platform, would crash due to the absurdly large number of customers tuning in. Game of Thrones fans were upset by the service problems caused by an unprecedented demand on Foxtel Now, the only legal way to stream the show in Australia. According to internet outages, complaints about crashed services started around 6 p.m. and grew exponentially as the 8:30 p.m. encore broadcast time arrived. At the time of the incident, Foxtel released a statement saying it was devastated to be experiencing problems and was doing everything it could to bring the service back online. The combination of new Foxtel customers signing up and existing customers upgrading to get the drama pack so they could watch the show put unprecedented pressure on our technical operations. Foxtel's identity management system, which verifies customers' entitlement to view content, which usually handles around 5,000 processes a day, was hit with 70,000 transactions in just a few hours. Game of Thrones is one of the most popular shows on the planet, with the dubious honor of being the world's most illegally downloaded show, and the global crash of streaming services didn't help. The first torrents of the show appeared within minutes of the official broadcast, with dozens added soon after. Illegal streaming services were also met with a huge demand following the Game of Thrones premiere, with an insider source claiming one portal attracted 20,000 views per hour, and this is only one of many such platforms.
But I thought, I don't know, they're obviously outsourcing their content to like Amazon or somewhere. Oh,
Even
what's
though
that?
we all knew
Hang
it
on.
was happening, we
Damn
weren't
things.
really ready for it.
Oh, I don't know if you can
Aaron's
hear
Game of Thrones
Shut
cameo,
up.
where he
I don't know if you can hear that, but something ad just came
Can't
on.
hear anything.
I don't know why you can't hear that back, but anyway. Well, I forgot what I was saying now. I was interrupted by that ad. Yeah, like, so why do you think that these things were struggling? Like, I thought all these, CDNs or whatever, they're all supposed to be scalable and go
Here's your
hard.
problem with going for exclusive rights so that you're the only one who's allowed to do it. If your system can't cope, everybody is screwed, including your customers who paid a ton of money for it. You should get something back like a few days free or discount or something like that for big outage like this, particularly since it's the main reason that people are signing up for that drama pack on top of the basic pack.
Exactly.
On top of the,
Yeah, I know, exactly. I know.
they're paying so much money for it, and it's got to be a reliable service. You can't go, we're just like the when the census happened and the servers couldn't hack it.
We would
expect so
DDoSed.
many. Of course, you expected that many people. People have been signing up for weeks
Yes.
before it.
Yeah.
The demand is going. Buy
Yeah.
more servers, buy more bandwidth, whatever you have to do, but it's going to happen.
And you know that the demand is going to be probably at launch or like at the time when it's immediately available, because that's why people are signing up, to watch it first thing. If they wanted to watch it a week later, well, chances are they might
wouldn't-
pirate it, or
Yeah.
something. But they're trying to do the right thing. So this is why, they set their course
Exclusive
back.
rights is bad.
Yeah, well, it is, for the uptime of everything. But do you think, like, with HBO and that, do you think Foxtel sort of pretty much just hooked into HBO's, say, database or whatever, or do you think that...
I think they would have had local content on their local servers. They just didn't give enough, servers and bandwidth, etc., to be able to cope with the demand.
Well, I think, Eric, you signed up for the trial of Foxtel Now, didn't you, a while back? And you said it was
I did.
no good.
Went for about an hour, and then I said, "No, this is rubbish." And got rid of it.
And what was it, laggy or
I
something?
didn't even want to wait out the 30-day, the 7-day or whatever period trial it was. I just thought, no, what's the point? I just signed up, had a look at it, tried to watch a few things, and then I thought, no, this is rubbish. No point. See you later.
And why was it rubbish? Like, did it stutter and falter, buffer? And...
Well, the buffering wasn't too bad. The quality wasn't too bad, but I just don't understand. If you're already a member of subscriber to Foxtel, then you can download the Foxtel Go app, right? And that's
Yeah.
free.
Yes, yep.
So, and the shows on the Foxtel, the other one, whatever it's called, is they've got less shows.
Yes,
Well, they did
right.
when I looked at it. Less shows than what I can see on my subscription. So I think, well, what's the point?
Because
If
even
it's different, then what? Then I think,
Why
oh,
pay
well, I'll downgrade my package and then just watch this. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that was rubbish. It was absolute rubbish.
Yeah, so I know because the Foxtel Go app still doesn't have, say, the whole Foxtel channel package on it either.
No.
Even some of the free channels are missing on the Foxtel Go. I noticed that they've only just recently added, Fox News. Like, it was the only news you get would be CNN. But now,
Makes you wonder.
But now on the go, you can get the Fox News, which is, I don't know, if you're into Fox News, you can get it. But Australian government, just moving away from that, I know we've discussed this next topic a little bit, so we can discuss it if you want, but we might as well we'll just say what's going on, and we can leave it there if you like. But the Australian government is going to introduce laws forcing tech companies to decrypt communications. So Malcolm
Not
Turnbull...
going to happen.
Well,
Not gonna happen.
Malcolm Turnbull has said, "I'm not a cryptographer." That's obvious, but
And not a prime minister either.
he says, I'm not a cryptographer, but what we're seeking to do is secure their assistants. They have to face up to their responsibility. So the Australian government will introduce laws before the end of the year. So who knows? They might get things through now that we lost two of the Greens, but they've paired themselves out of the game. Which I don't know if that's a good idea or not. From a tactical
And he
point of
doesn't
view,
believe in the law of mathematics.
who does?
Yeah, they can see that by
Howls
his
of
budget.
derisive laughter.
So the Australian government will introduce laws before the end of the year that will force end-to-end encrypted communication service providers to decrypt messages for law enforcement. So
Not going to happen.
Yeah,
And even if it did, you just get another service that's made in another country and people download it, install it. You can't stop it.
yeah.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
The Malcolm Turnbull today or this week said that the laws were intended to illuminate the dark places online.
Oh, I'll give you a dark place.
That terrorists and child
Won't
molesters.
somebody please think of the children?
That's right, the children. The government claimed that 9 out of 10 priority investigations carried out by ASIO are being hampered by encryption. But I guess you could say that, 9 out of 10 investigations are being hampered by not being able to listen to the personal conversation around the kitchen table in Iraq.
Oh, yes,
Or
yes,
something
Miss
like-
Triggs. Yeah, it's a shame that I can't control the conversations around the table.
Well,
Maybe the guy that sent me an email last week, maybe that's his mother.
I wasn't going down that path, but I was.
Oh, mate,
I meant
That's what it is.
But I was trying to say that, like if you could listen to everyone's conversation, no matter where it was, like if I could listen to, say, your conversation, Eric, tonight over at your dinner table.
That's why we have
that-
Samsung TVs.
Yeah, that's right. Then I'd know what you were talking about, right? But I can't
Yes.
do that. So these end-to-end encryption, like you can be talking about things, but I can't find out what you're talking about. Does that?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So like, it's the same thing. Like, just he's brought up an example.
That's a slippery slide, though, because where does it stop?
Yeah,
That's a slippery slide. You start off here, and it encroaches a little bit, and then people don't know, and before you know it, you wake up one day, there's someone at the door saying, "I heard you say something bad about someone who died 40 years ago. You were being arrested for whatever."
Yeah, we've just decrypted those hieroglyphics, and Tutankhamun wasn't killed by a blow to the back of the head. He was poisoned.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway.
You see his point about the mathematics, though?
No, I didn't see that. I don't know what you were talking
Yeah.
about. What?
There's-
This
So
is
To
Malcolm.
do with encryption, the laws of mathematics would seem to stand in the way of putting in these backdoors that he's talking about. But Turnbull insists that they're trumped by Australian law. The laws of mathematics are very commendable, but the only law that applies in Australia is the law of Australia, he said.
Oh, so our law surpasses the law of physics and
Mathematics.
maths and
Yeah.
oh my goodness, how good are we?
He's a wanker.
Like, you what? What the
You
hell?
know, the laws of physics and the laws of maths very rarely change.
Oh, yeah.
Sovereign laws can change. So
Yep.
this is why you're getting booted out by the end of the year, Malcolm.
Now apparently,
Says
look,
he doesn't want a backdoor, just a secret way that only laws
No, he wants the front door.
read it. It's like,
but just to give you an
I
idea,
don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about Malcolm Turnbull's backdoor.
no,
Oh,
especially
maybe not.
No, not-
Especially when I can see Uranus over your left shoulder.
now,
That's where you find Tony Abbott.
now I don't know about that. I think, yeah. So anyway, what's happening around the rest of the world? Just quickly, is that So blah blah blah. Australia's proposed legislation is expected to closely mirror UK's investigatory powers bill, which obliges encrypted communication providers to ensure they are technically able to hand over decrypted data to law enforcement in near real time. New Zealand introduced similar legislation 4 years ago, and the Labor Party in Australia has previously indicated plans to support the proposed legislation.
Which
So-
that basically means they're going to block it in the Senate. That's what that means.
right.
Because they used to oppose everything. That
Even Apple
That-
has been asked to do this kind of thing, and they're like,
no, yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
Civil. Could you imagine? Sorry, look, I'm all for catching criminals and pedophiles and terrorists, but this is a step too far.
Yeah, like I think you got to be able to look. As I said, I didn't want to go down this rabbit hole again, but as I said previously, I reckon that Apple phone and the FBI business, earlier this year or last year, whatever it was. Look, just knock on Tim Cook's door, do it all secretly. No one knows what's going on. Just get it done, and then
Get it done.
no
Don't
one
make a
cares.
big announcement about it.
Yeah, no one cares. Well, look, we were just talking about Foxtel. Let's just quick one about Netflix. They've got
have a quickie.
just a quickie from Netflix. 104 million subscribers worldwide. So I think, they must be doing something right with their streaming services. Netflix has produced shows such as 13 Reasons Why, never seen it. Show about teen suicide. Yuck, I won't see it. Political drama House of Cards. I started watching that, but there's too much political stuff going on. I can't handle it. And The Crown. The firm, Netflix, said it added about 5.2 million memberships during the last quarter, mostly from overseas. So that'd be like Australia and whatever. This is from an American point of view, this story. International members, us, now account for about half of its subscriber total. So, yeah, good stuff.
Can I ask who Anonymous Cormorant is?
Where would that be coming from?
Your show notes. Someone's logged in as Anonymous Cormorant.
I don't know. What is a cormorant?
I don't know. It's got a bird symbol at the top.
I can see it. I don't know who
Jason,
that is.
Glenn, and Mr. Cormorant.
You sound like you should be on Romper Room. You'd get that gig.
What it does is if someone doesn't have a Gmail account they're logged into, but they do have a link to the show notes.
Well,
and
yeah,
it'll
but
just-
we're not live.
Who's doing
No,
that? Yeah, I don't
we've
know.
got a hacker.
We're not live.
No,
If
but
we say go to show notes, they can go. Is that you, Milo?
it's someone that's...
If someone's had access to the show notes before, they always do, so it could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
Because
Oh,
I'm logged in. Can you see me there or not?
yes, I can
Yeah,
see
it's got a
you.
T.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you find out who
Mr.
that is.
Mr. or Mrs. Cormorant, make yourself known. Give us a buzz. Send an email to Glenn at I'm gonna punch your face in.com, and we'll see what you're about.
All right. Yeah, we will see. Now, what else have you got going, Jace?
The
Aside from
product
Mr. Cormorant.
product manager for Google Home, Ranak Shah, said getting Google Assistant, the same voice-activated AI on Google's Pixel smartphones, to understand Australian slang is only part of the challenge. We hired a team of writers to include all of the exclusively Australian words we wanted the system to recognise, while also adding some unique Aussie flavour to the responses. It's so exciting to release a product that looks, feels, and sounds like an authentic Australian. To show how
Australian.
this works with colloquial Australian slang, Mr. Shah gave the following examples. You can say, "Hey Google, look what I made you," and it says, "I love it. This is going straight to the pool room."
Wow.
Okay, Google, what are some of your favourite things? Gumdrops and wattles and whiskers on wombats and chop tops at the movies. Hey Google, surfed up. Yeah. Okay, Google, what does a kookaburra sound like? Kookaburra.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
well, they're going to get that wrong, I reckon. They need something like, where can I find the nearest Chico roll?
Oh,
Where's the Rissole Club?
Is so and so a slag? That sort of stuff. That's slang. You want to get that in there.
well, it is. There is slang. They've got an ad on the TV. I saw it just before the show. Before I came on to the show, they've got a Google ad and had the kookaburra on it. So
Yeah.
sounded all right.
There
In
you go.
addition to understanding Australian accents and slang, the device has been tailored to provide information and entertainment from a number of local sources. We've worked with local partners like Stan for video content, and we pull news from Australian services such as the Australian Fox Sports and other resources. According to Mr. Shah, the number of Aussie Easter eggs on Google Home and news.com.au will explore these during a more detailed review of the unit. So, Easter eggs for
Oh,
Aussie slang.
Sounds all right, but I think these things like that Amazon. What's that one from Amazon? The Amazon
Alexa.
Plex. Was it Alexa? Yes, Alexa.
Alexa.
I think
Here's a
that
question.
costs like $300 or something.
Hang on
Yeah.
a minute. I've just realised something.
You're not
Can
still
I
on?
ask a question? How long has Google Home been around?
What do you mean Google?
Someone,
oh, yeah. I don't know.
the Google Home. It's a little
It's only
unit.
just come to Australia now, yeah.
But how long has it been in the States? Does anyone know?
I know about
The reason I ask is because just recently in May, I think it was, when Apple had was it May or June? June, when Apple had their WWDC, June 7, I think it was.
Yep.
They released Apple Home with a little box, and you talk to, "Hey Siri, put this movie on. Hey Siri, what's the latest top 40 songs?
Yeah,
Can
so
you play
Alexa
that?"
came out first and then Google, and now Apple's playing catch up.
Who came out first?
Alexa from Amazon.
Right.
And
Okay.
Google's was released on November 4, 2016.
And here I thought, finally, Apple have actually come up with something that no one else has, but they're just copycats again.
Yeah, and there's
So
gonna be
the
like
vision of
$600.
Mr. Cook is really questionable.
They want theirs to be like ultimate superior quality speaker sound to play music and stuff, Whereas the Amazon one, you can get $50 Amazon Dot, which will do all the same stuff, but the music is a bit tinny, so you don't want to play music from it. But the Google Home is a bit better, and then the Apple one is probably going to be $500, but it's going to have really, really good quality music.
I don't know.
playback.
The Google one looks pretty good.
It's supposed
Actually,
to
Looks nicer than the Apple one, actually.
where objects are in the room where the sound bounces off before you
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
and then give you the optimum sound.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't look
yeah,
too
so
bad.
here I'm now back to my normal cynicism about Apple's vision. There is none.
No, it doesn't. It seems to be lacking.
Not since Jobs left. Well, departed
When the
this earth.
unexpected pops
Yeah.
up,
And not since
it's
Scott
easy to stay
Forstall
focused on
got
your
sacked.
everyday.
There's been no vision at all.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. But yeah, the Google Home, like, how much does it say? How much they're going to be? I can't see.
No, not. Let me see.
I can't
I'll
see.
go to the
I'm just on the
shop.
Oh, I'm just on the site, the story that Jace is talking about, but I can't see. I know that Amazon one's a few hundred.
Dick Smith has got it for $175.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, there you go. JB Hi-Fi's got it for 444.
It should be less than
I'll tell you.
$199. It's got here Google Home launches in Australia July 20 and will cost
$199.
$199. Yeah. Number of Easter. Yeah, according to Mr. Shah, there are a number of Easter eggs on Google Home. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason,
Or
you got that far.
$4.99 for a 3-pack.
Oh, right.
That's not bad,
So what are you supposed to do?
considering it's $500 for one on Apple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want 1 or 3.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that might be interesting. Like 200, you'd go and splash 200 down, wouldn't you? To give it a bit of a.
Oh,
If
no.
I wanted to have something to answer like that, I'd get an Amazon Dot, which is
Yeah.
about this big and
Right.
does the
Yeah.
same sort of stuff.
Okay.
Or you can get access to the Amazon AI stuff and even install it on a Raspberry Pi or anything you've got.
Alexa.
Yeah, but if you don't want to muck around
Yeah,
with
just
it,
get a Dot.
just get a
well, you could,
Google Store.
someone might, especially the people or guys over in Taiwan, they might think they don't want another female in the house because there's been a Taiwan woman who's divorced her husband who ignored her messages.
Yeah, I might try that.
So there you go. So if you want to get in the
You
bad
going to
books,
divorce your husband?
yeah, a woman,
I'll start ignoring text messages.
a woman in Taiwan has been granted a divorce using the read indicators on the line messages she sent to her husband as proof that he has been ignoring her. So line messages is I think Line is a program. Is a
He's like, she sends
app.
75 messages every 10 minutes. I just ignored some.
Well, I think he's lucky that he's divorced from her.
yeah. I think
Dodged a bullet.
I think there were other issues. The story did go on.
I'd
and
say
on,
that
and-
was
Yeah, there are other issues, but the app showed that he had opened the text messages but didn't reply to them. So a judge ruled in her favour earlier this month. It's apparently
Oh,
that
stupid.
this process has got a name. It's called blue ticking. So you blue tick
Oh,
someone.
good God!
Yeah, a term that refers to the
Isn't
act.
that what Telstra use for their mobile phones that work in the country is the blue tick phones?
Oh, no, probably. So, but they're getting a blue ticking. A term that refers to the act of reading but not replying to someone's messages. The concept comes from the social media apps such as WhatsApp and Line, which use tick notifications to show when someone has received and read your messages. So, apparently, in the court case, the Line messages, which is the app she was using, Line, the Line messages were a very important piece of evidence. It shows the overall state of the marriage, that the two parties don't have good communication. Now, internet communication is very common, so these can be used as evidence. In the past, we needed written hard copy evidence, the judge said. So,
Damn it!
there you go. Read messages. Didn't reply to them. But,
At least with
What's the
email-
world coming to?
At least with emails, the program pops up and says, this message has a read receipt, which will send back a message to them saying that you read the email. Do you wish to agree to this? And you just go, nope.
yeah.
They never know you opened it.
But like,
Yeah.
if the guy was fair dinkum, he could have just said, "Yeah, I got the message. I rang her. Yeah, I got the message. I rang her. I rang
Yeah,
her
but then I'll check the phone records. Say,
Yeah.
oh, you no,
yeah,
nothing here.
from the payphone. Rang from the payphone.
Down the road.
Find a payphone. I dare you to find a payphone.
There's a
Their
few
Wi-Fi
around.
hotspot.
Yes. Not very. They don't have good range on them though, do they? Little range,
No.
but they're not like you can't. Yeah,
What, the payphones?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you mean they don't have good range? You can ring anybody.
No, the Wi-Fi hotspot. You know, the Telstra.
Oh, the
Air.
hotspot things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never used them.
Yeah, I've been in them, but there was what? Where's this other one? There's another story.
I got
here.
20 gigs a month now. I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, gee,
Yeah,
that's
I've got enough
alright.
data. I don't need it, really.
Who are you with, Jace, for 20 gig a month?
Telstra, but I've got 12 gig and then transferred my daughter from her mum's account onto mine. And with her $40 a month Telstra plan, she gets 8 gig. So
Right,
8 plus
nice.
12 in the family plan together.
Because there was I was reading this next story here that I've just got. I'm thinking, do you really need Wi-Fi on public transport these days with people the data on phones?
Everyone's got data.
Yeah, it's starting to
Only
get
You know,
up there.
you know what's funny? When mobile phones were, smartphones were first coming out. Let's call it when Apple, introduced them in 2008, so 9 years ago. And the data, remember, the data allocations were really terrible,
Yeah,
and it was really expensive.
yeah.
That's when we needed Wi-Fi on public transport.
yes.
Now
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
That's
So
right.
it's a bit like, oh, you can have Wi-Fi, and how many times, like years ago, you go to a cafe and they have all free Wi-Fi. You go, oh, you beauty, because the 3G was too slow, or you're out of range or something. So there's a godsend.
Yep.
You go to a cafe now and they say we've got free Wi-Fi. You look at them like,
Who
what?
cares?
So
Yeah.
who gives a rat's?
Like, why would I risk security to join up with your
Yeah.
Wi-Fi? Yeah. But anyway, this story was all about the South Australian government has given itself less than
Oh, South Australia, that makes sense.
Only
okay.
if you're on something like, the Melbourne City Circle, which doesn't have any signal in the tunnels. Then you can want Wi-Fi on the train or tram or whatever. But
Yeah.
in Sydney, they've got the signal goes through all the
tunnels
They've got
now, yeah.
boosters in them all, so you don't
Yeah.
ever lose signal.
But
in
how do
Sydney
they?
now.
But then, if there's no signal, how do the tram or the trains get the signal, the Wi-Fi? Are they
How do
coming
they get electricity?
through the wires?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, right now. Because I know on the way from the Goldie,
they could put Wi-Fi repeaters through the tunnel and just not get Telstra to put a repeater, and then Vodafone to put their repeater, and then
Right.
Optus to put their repeater, and
yeah.
just have one Wi-Fi one.
Oh, look, it can probably have it. Look, it probably have it as its advantages, but I don't know. I think the data on your phone these days is great. But anyway,
It's sufficient, yeah.
yeah, I'll just
Take a break in the tunnel, put your phone down, talk to the
Yep.
stinky person sitting next to you. It keeps fun.
yeah. Well, I know that when I
Yeah.
go to Brisbane, there's a few little black spots, and you just download a podcast before you get there, and just
Like
Exactly.
this one.
that's exactly right, exactly.
Yeah, download this one. Then you get hear the rant.
But I'll just finish off this one so you know what I'm talking about, and then Jace can have a go with another one. But it's the South Australian government. It's given itself less than 6 months to have free Wi-Fi across Adelaide's full public transport network up and running. It will give commuters simple access to high quality and reliable internet. Across the state's 893 buses, 136 train cars, and 21 trams, as well as selected.
I'm
buses.
guessing their Wi-Fi is going to be as reliable as their electricity.
Yeah, I don't think the Wi-Fi on
It's the windmills and the solar.
Yep,
plants.
they're going to have the solar Wi-Fi charger.
Yeah. But Elon Musk will come down there and he'll save them.
Yep,
Let's
and then
hope so.
if the power goes down, you'll get Wi-Fi for about 3 minutes.
There you go.
All right. What else you got there, Jace?
Glenn's like, I've had enough. On to the next story.
Pretty much.
Get a gutful.
An egg-shaped robot known as K5 autonomous data machine drew sympathy and jeers on Monday after it stumbled down a set of steps and into a fountain at Washington Harbour, an office and retail complex in the Georgetown neighborhood in Washington, D.C. The photos were widely shared. I saw one of them and it was like, we were promised the future would have flying cars. Instead, we got suicidal robots. The robot is 1.5 meters tall, weighs 136 kilos, and can travel up to 5 kilometers an hour. It bears a passing resemblance to R2D2 or perhaps a Dalek.
Yes, I heard.
K5's pop culture cousin is clearly a Robocop. It's equipped with, among other things, thermal imaging, automatic license plate recognition, and a video camera. Nightscope, the California-based maker of the robot, said its machines can be an additional set of intelligent eyes and ears for security and law enforcement. Its clients include data centers, hospitals, and shopping malls. While some Twitter users theorized that the K5 committed roboticide, a simpler explanation was provided by Michael Bailey Van Kuren of the C. Michael Armstrong Professor of Engineering and Interactive Media at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio.
God, that's a long sentence.
Right? Lucky you weren't doing that one. Like with any technology, you can have a fault condition and error can occur, he said. Technology is advanced well enough to direct autonomous devices away from obstacles, noting that even the Roomba vacuuming robot has sensors to avoid stairs. The K5 did not detect the stairs. It was an anomaly, he said.
We had to take. We had
Fell down into the fountain.
We had one of those robots, carpet cleaning Roomba things, and
Oh, yes.
we had to take the sensor out of it because for the stair sensor, we had to send it away and get the sensor taken out because it didn't like black carpet. We had some dark. Yeah, we had dark carpet.
Have you seen those ones, the photos that people have of the dog's done its business in the lounge room and the Roomba has gone into it and then dragged that throughout the whole house and done a nice pat. Every single room has got dog crap in the carpet now.
Oh, I never thought. No, I haven't seen any of those, but that is pretty funny.
Thanks, Roomba.
Yeah, thanks for that. It needed a poo detector as well. Jeez, fair income. All right. Oh, here's another funny little one. Now, a man has been trapped in an ATM machine. Well,
What a fool.
Sort of, kind of. The man, police say, was working on a renovation at a bank, left his phone in his vehicle before getting stuck in the drive-through ATM's vault. So the unnamed workman was freed after shouting to ATM users who continued withdrawing cash throughout his ordeal on Wednesday in Corpus Christi. That's in the US somewhere. Police thought it was a hoax before kicking in the door to withdraw him. I don't know how hard.
They made a deposit with a couple of guns.
But I don't know. How hard would it be to kick in the door of a vault? That'd be pretty hard.
Pretty hard.
Be very hard.
I was saying he left his pass in the car or something, and he started writing notes. And when somebody took out $20, he'd slip his note in the machine so that it'd go out with the money. Help! I'm stuck inside an ATM.
I've just flashed up the note. Apparently, the actual note. It's just got, please help. I'm stuck in here. I don't have any phone. Please call my boss. And then gave the phone number. So the man was freed after spending more than 2 hours inside the Bank of America machine.
I think his boss is going to have some harsh words to him, like, mate, you're an idiot, you're fired.
I've been caught with stuff like that working in data centers, and you have to scan to get in and scan to get out. And I'd go in with somebody else, and they're like, okay, we'll set up this computer. He scans in, I just follow him into the room, forget to scan. And then when you go to scan out, the computer says, no, you're not in here because you didn't scan to come in, so you can't get out. So then I have to phone up one of the other guys at the office. Can you come down to this bank? I'm stuck inside their data center and I can't get. Then the lights go out because you're not moving enough. So you have to jump around like this to get the lights back on. Can you get me out of here? I'm stuck.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would happen, wouldn't it? Like,
Good security. I mean, if you sneak in behind someone and they don't notice you, hide behind the computers, you can't get back out again no matter what.
Thanks for the tip anyway, Jason. That's good.
Even if you steal his ID, you're still stuck in there.
But it's like those, you pay your $80 or whatever to go to a theme park, say SeaWorld, and then they're having a big do at night, which you got to pay another $80 for. And like, why wouldn't you just stay in the park? They think that everyone just goes out and pays again.
Get a stamp when you go out, like they do at the club.
Oh yeah, stamps. Now, is it your turn, Jay? Oh no, you just did one. I'll have one now. Now, the NASA archives, hundreds of videos are being posted to YouTube. So if you're into NASA and space and just even bomb drops,
like this.
Yes, exactly. See, that might have been one of them. There might have been. Now, you can, if you're into all that sort of stuff, on YouTube. Now, there's a link in the show notes. It's recovered from the archives of NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center in Edwards, California. The footage covers decades of pivotal research and development undertaken by the agency and Air Force. Among the short clips is footage of Space Shuttle landing research, tests on the Lunar Landing Research Vehicle, and flights of the first supersonic aircraft. So,
do you think that they'll show footage of the landing on the moon in the studio?
No,
I
because
want to know
that
if
doesn't
they
exist.
show footage of the colonies on Mars. I saw on Twitter they had a senator asked somebody from NASA or something. I can't remember where it was from, and they said, "Is it possible that there's been colonies on Mars in the past, and you've seen structures to confirm this?" And he's like, "I would find that highly unlikely." They're like,
So
he's done it, so therefore
Yeah.
there is
Bit nervous.
colonies have been on Mars in the past.
Yeah.
Last year or the year before, someone went up to one of the astronauts that went to did the moon landing, and basically accused him of being a fake.
Punch him in
So
the
he
face.
punched him.
Yeah, punched.
I know. God, yeah.
That was Buzz, wasn't it?
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Buzz. Yeah, but
Thank
that's
you.
like, look, it wasn't fate. You're kidding me. So the films are brief, usually under 2 minutes, but cover an impressive range of missions. Some are serene, like early morning takeoff of a space shuttle. Others are intense, like the first launch of the Hyper X aircraft. Now I watched that one. Oh, very intense.
Packed my bags last night, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m.
Never heard of that one. Now some.
Rocket Man by Elton John.
Oh, I've
come
heard of
on.
that. I only know choruses. Now, when you listen, I don't listen to words of songs. Do you listen to the words? Obviously, you do. Obviously, you do. I just
People
So-
spend a lot of time writing these things down.
Would,
and you're just like,
so you don't know what Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds means?
well, I guess only from talk about as LSD.
Well, Lucy, L, Sky, S, Diamonds, D.
and
yeah.
Puff the Magic Dragon is about
Lucy in the LSD. They
Yeah.
wrote it when they were tripping.
I just like the tunes. I don't listen to the words.
Well, I don't like the Beatles. I think they're overrated.
I'm going to see Paul McCartney at Christmas.
Oh, God, bring your pillow.
That'd be good.
You'll
That'd
be
be good.
falling asleep.
I'm only going to go. I'm only going. Well, I don't mind him. I like him, but you're never going to see him again. So
There's only a finite number of Beatles in the world that are left.
That's right. We've got to stop mining the Beatles.
Yeah.
exactly. Now, okay, I think we're done with that YouTube one then, by the sounds of it.
Well, I will be looking at that, and I'll be dissecting the videos very closely
Well, there's a few of them.
And all emails can be sent to Eric.
at skeptics.com.
Now, they're all under 2 minutes, and as I said, yeah, some are even funny apparently, like the clip of the flying bathtub and the training exercise that shows a crew member being chucked backwards out of a shuttle. So there you go. There's
Well,
some-
that's just a massive guffaw right there.
Yeah, there's some links to those particular ones in the show notes if you want to go and have a look directly at them. Now your friend's still in the show notes, Eric. Are you okay? You're not.
What's that?
Your friend is still in the show notes.
Yeah, I know.
A
Mr. Cormorant.
Cormorant.
Yeah, okay.
Cormorant. Here comes goes. That's some words from a song.
Oh, yeah, I know the tune.
You might not know that.
I know the tune. I don't know the words of those words. Now,
Atari is planning a return to video game console market, having previously teased a brand new machine called the Atari Box. Though details remain thin, the first images and details of the machine have now appeared online, showing off a retro-inspired box with modern internal specs.
Oh, look
In
at
an
that.
email to fans late on Monday, Atari said the Atari Box stays true to our heritage while appealing to both old and new fans of Atari. The design of the console features a ribbed black enclosure and raised back, echoing the iconic lines of the original Atari video computer system. It'll come in 2 editions, a black console with wood grain front panel, yay, or black and red console with a glass front. Unlike the Atari Flashback series from AT Games, the only hardware to carry the Atari name for over 20 years, the Atari Box is a PC-like machine with modern internal specs, according to Atari. Players will get access to classic games as well as current gaming content. Backing up that claim, the images shared in the newsletter reveal HDMI output and an Ethernet port for internet, as well as 4 USB ports and an SD card slot, presumably for expandable storage. Though not confirmed, it's safe to assume the console also has wireless capabilities for its internet and its controllers.
I know that when you look at one of those original machines, like I think I have a picture here. Yeah, they're just magical, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
because you played them when you was a kid and you got so much fun out of them, and it was one of those things you just couldn't wait to play because like we never had one. I used to play it at a mate's place, and then when I was a kid and go to my grandparents' place in Sydney, to stay over the holidays or whatever, I used to go up to the local. I think it was a Retrovision store. They had one out on display, and me and my cousin just sat in the shop all day, just played it.
They did good times, right?
Yeah, they didn't mind. They didn't mind at all.
Well, it's good advertising, isn't it?
Yeah, so we just sat there playing it. We loved it. The games, there wasn't too many games. I think they might have changed them every couple of days, but I think some plain one.
Well, when I was young, I made friends with the local guy running the local Dick Smith electronics shop, and he had a VZ200 there that he had hooked up to a little TV. So I used to write little demo programs for him that he could upload and run on the computer all day so customers would see it doing something rather than just a blinking cursor. So around Christmas time, I got it to go into graphics mode and draw a Christmas tree with lights flashing on and off and presents down the bottom and stuff like this. And he'd load it up and play it for me. It was great.
So you would have had to, like back then, I guess, just thinking back in my memory, from if I was to draw a Christmas tree, you would have had to plot that out and then give the coordinates of every dot. Is that how you would have drawn the tree?
Yep.
Yeah, so that would have taken you a bit of time to do that.
Unset, set, unset.
yeah, whatever it was. I think because I used to do a bit of basic. I don't know how I did it in basic now. I can't remember.
Well, the VZ didn't have any line commands, so that you couldn't start here and draw from there to there. You had to programmatically do all of the pixels. So start in the center of where the tree is and do a dot, and then take away one and add one to the end of it, and just keep doing that all the way out till you did a triangle, and then start again, and make a little Christmas tree, and then draw a stem, a trunk, and then a pot that it's sitting in, and some presents around there and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Because I remember I printed out I drew up a grid, of each dot that was on the screen, because it was blocky back then in the old days, So I did it was about that big, my grid, and then I put contact over it. And then so I could colour in or draw a picture, and then you could get the grid going.
Get on the screen.
Yeah, that's right, and then program it onto the screen. Yeah, it was cool. Misconfigured AWS bucket sees 2 million Dow Jones user details exposed. Now this is pretty nasty. So at least 2 million Dow Jones customers have their personal details exposed online via unsecured public cloud repository. Like, why wouldn't these people know better than this? Dow Jones, which owns the Wall Street Journal, confirmed to cybersecurity firm UpGuard that at least 2.2 million customers were affected. So the exposed information included people's names, addresses, account information, email addresses, and the last 4 digits of credit card numbers. The data was found on the AWS S3 bucket and has been configured to allow any AWS authenticated user to download the data. Now, an Amazon defines an authenticated user as any person with an account, of which I have one, and probably everyone else has one, and a million others. There's a million people out there with them. It's free to sign up, but that's terrible, isn't it? That's absolutely disgraceful.
You know who owns Dow Jones, don't you?
Obviously not a security conscious firm.
Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, right.
Owns Dow Jones and the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, he needs to get some better IT tech security people in, doesn't he?
Bupa had an internal breach this week too, did you see?
No,
I did not.
Over in the UK, one of the staff members who worked for Bupa logged onto the system, downloaded thousands of records and deleted a bunch of them, and then took off with it.
Yeah, okay. That's no good. What did he do with it? He took off with them.
Probably going to sell to a competitor or spammers or hackers or whoever wants to pay the most money for it, I guess.
Yeah, I noticed Gmail. I don't know if you guys have Gmail, but there's a few spam Gmails come through just this week. Like because I empty mine out because I check mine every day, for legitimate ones.
Spam folder.
Yeah, the spam folder, and just this week it was starting to be just chockers full of probably 20 or 30 overnight or whatever, and it was all little ones with subjects with little pictures of hearts and emojis and blah blah, and you think, well, that just looks like spam to start with, doesn't it? Like,
like,
it's just rubbish. Anyone can see that. But look, the Apple iPhone 8, we getting excited?
Not
Got
really.
some pictures of it.
Yes, apparently. Well, what they reckon it's going to look like. I might have a picture here in a sec. There it is.
Really?
Yep.
That thing there.
Edge to edge.
As a rule, yeah,
Where's
go.
where's the finger, the print button?
Yeah, well, it's integrated into the glass.
Okay, what's that thing in the back then?
The what?
Camera. It should have dual cameras.
In
Yeah.
the middle.
Up the top. That'll be the camera.
Yeah, not in the corner, in the center, under the Apple symbol.
Oh, you're looking at that. Oh, there's another picture. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think.
I don't think they know.
Probably
what it
a
is.
lot of renders, but yeah, I don't think Apple would go with that.
No, I don't know what that is. But in any case, as a rule, Apple launches its smartphone in the second week of September. This has been the case since 2012. Now, the iPhone 8 is likely to be a fairly radical design departure from the previous two generations. And it's got to do something. They have pretty much looked the same for a while. The iPhone 7S and 7S Plus will probably look fairly similar to the iPhone 6, 6S, 7 models, but the iPhone 8 will be a special, sporting a tall, almost bezel-free 5.8 AMOLED screen that covers the entire front of the device. So for those who can't see the pictures, it's pretty much the whole thing is screen. Okay, so there's no button down the bottom.
Pretty much like the Samsung Galaxy S8s.
Yeah, so do look good. They do look good. I won't be getting one, but they do look good. There'll be no here you go, Eric. There's no visible home button, as its functionality, including a fingerprint sensor, will be built into the screen itself. Now,
Yeah, let's see.
and apparently that could be what might be holding up any announcements of this phone, because I think they're having some trouble getting that integration working properly. So
Yeah, the S8 has got a virtual home button in the bottom middle of the screen that you can press it and you hold it a bit longer and it'll vibrate like you've touched it. So it's sort of haptic feedback home button.
So is that like what the Apple call the 3D touch?
What does
this
that
is-
even mean?
3D touch is if you've got an app, say Facebook, and you put your finger on the screen and then push a tiny bit harder, it'll pop up a menu of post now, view photos and stuff like that you can do without opening the actual app.
Right.
Android's got that now too. But
Right.
Android's got the fingerprint sensor on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so how does that work? Just show me how you would open the phone. I like that.
like
Okay.
that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And it's not so easy just with the phone, but even this thin silicon case is enough for you to go, okay, 1, 2, that's the one there. Or if you
Yeah,
just,
right.
straight away, got reach,
What if you have a cover
that is silicon.
that's on the cover?
Yeah.
And it works okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes it even easier because you've got some ridges in between them, whereas without
Oh, sure.
it's just flat. So you're like, am I got my finger on the
Yeah.
camera, and then you get your camera dirty or something, but you can feel it pretty easy when you've got it even just
Right. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
So
Very good.
The consensus, pretty much from all the reports in the tech and the mainstream press, is that the iPhone 8 will have a 5.8-inch screen with a long or wide, depending on how you're holding the phone, aspect ratio. So this means more screen space in a body the same size as previous iPhones, and it's achieved by decreasing the size of the upper and lower bezels. So there you go. So I thought I'd touch on the iPhone 8 because I don't like the rumors, but it's getting near possible launch time. So
September.
yeah, so why not have a bit of a look and see what's going on?
Well, my phone will be 3 years old this September, and I'm still not in any hurry to replace it.
No, not as long as
That's
they
what you
work.
need.
What do you think, Jace? What does Apple need to do to their phone, say, to bring them up to, say, speed, if that's the case, to the Android?
Get rid of Tim Cook. Job one.
Like, what's missing on the iPhone that... What would make you go back to the iPhone? What function?
I've told you this before.
Yeah,
I told you it's
What?
waterproof,
yep.
floats, and I can talk via hologram. I told you that.
Right, and
That's
apparently
what I like.
you're going to get 2 out of the 3. Apparently it's going to be waterproof.
One of the main things that I like about the Android is the little widgets that you can have on the home screen, and all the home screen buttons and stuff are fully customizable. So you don't just have pages of icons. you can have a little widget up the top that's got the last few emails in there.
Right.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
another on my main screen, I've got it's got the moon phase, current temperature, what the temperature is the next few days, the next couple of things in my calendar, the current date and time, and battery, how much is left. Under that, I've got a row of buttons, and if I swipe across, the next screen has got a calendar with the next 3 days of stuff, and Google Now, which has got current temperature and temperature for the next few days and stuff like that. And
Right.
that integrates. The Google Now is great because it integrates with my Gmail. So when I book my daughter a flight on the plane to come here or go visit her mum, it automatically from the Gmail knows what plane that I booked, and it puts on there if the plane's going to be late or if the plane is in flight, how long it's got until it
Oh,
draws
that's
a
pretty
picture
cool.
of
Wow.
the plane going across the screen slowly until the plane is landing, all this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
see, I think everyone that used to work at Apple are now working for Google.
Yeah, it's
So
great.
it sounds like then, like really, it's not really the physical phone that attracts you, say, to the Android. It's the software. The software.
features,
The,
yeah.
the software.
I mean,
Oh, it's not the
Yeah.
physical phone. The iPhone itself is a beautiful looking phone.
Yeah.
The quality is second to none. But what they're doing on it, I look at my phone now and tell you the truth, it doesn't look that different to the first 3G phone I got.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Just bigger with more pixels.
Yeah.
It's bigger. They've got more apps. This Retina screen. You know, it's clearer.
Look,
Not a
you,
lot has changed since
Not-
iOS 2
yeah.
or 3.
Look,
Yes.
they should be doing things like you just explained there with the flight, for example.
Mm.
You know, you wouldn't use it all the time, but it's there.
But in days gone past, that would have been Apple's thing. You know, all this meaningful features rather than just better camera every release.
In
Yeah,
days
well,
gone by,
That's what
that would have been all Apple. This is what I mean. The people like Scott Forstall and a few others have left, and their imagination went with them.
Yeah. What were you saying, Jace?
I mean, when they bought Siri, it could do hundreds times more things than it can even do now.
Yeah, and they
They're like,
dumbed it
"Oh,
down.
we'll pare it back to nothing, integrate it, and then spend the next 10 years re-rolling it back so it can catch up to where it was originally.
Do you
Because
think?
I don't know what they've got this attitude of if I only give them a little bit now, they'll buy the phone. Then we'll give them a little bit more next year, so they have to upgrade the phone. So they it's a really cynical exercise in getting people to buy their stuff, and it's backfired because people aren't buying their stuff anymore.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm going to keep I'm happy with my phone, but after listening to Jace go through those sort of features, you think, yeah, that would be nice. Like I can do those things on the Apple phone now, but they're not on the home screen, and it's maybe not
Yeah.
as
Just about every app has got a widget, is what they call it, and
Yeah.
it's on the main screen. Apple has widgets, but you have to drag down your
You
notifications.
drag it down, yeah.
and it pops. And the
It should
Android
be on a
has got
separate screen,
as
widgets,
well,
and you
yeah.
can just go to it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I don't know. I've been up and down, but look, I'm in no hurry to get a new phone. I'll give you the tip.
No, I'm not.
Right.
Look, I will never buy a Google phone, but that doesn't mean I'm going to upgrade to every Apple phone. No way.
Well, I might, but I don't know. My
Just
phone.
when they say we've removed all certificates for the iPhone 5S, so now you're going to have to buy a new one because
Yeah, well, there's that, isn't there?
Do you think they got a bit destroyed after the Apple Maps problems, and they've gone?
Yeah, they sort of recovered from that, but they were sort of slowly starting to lose their appeal. And then what really did it for me was when they brought the 7 out and decided, you know what? No phone jack.
Headphones.
Go to hell.
still a lot of
That's-
people pissed off about
That did it for me. And I thought, you guys are running out of ideas. Fair dinkum.
Yeah, and I think the ideas that they have got, as you said, they're slowly rolling them out rather than saying, "Hey, we can do all this. Let's pump that out and be up to speed." But yeah, like we don't really have anything on the roadmap for.
We don't
3
have any
years.
ideas. So how about
We
this?
just
Let's get
go
rid of the phone jack.
Yeah.
That's the best they could do because we've got
What
no
about-
other
what about
ideas.
The MacBooks. Oh, we put on this touch. Who cares?
Oh, that's
Nobody-
ridiculous.
My daughter has got a school netbook It's got a touch screen. She loves it. It's the best thing she ever had.
That is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Why would you spend? Get this right. There's quite a bit of money in R&D that goes into integrating a touchpad into a keyboard, right, or above the keyboard. Why couldn't you spend the same amount of money or less just making a touchscreen MacBook Pro?
Yeah.
They would fly off the shelves if they had a touchscreen MacBook Pro. They really would.
I saw an article recently, and they were talking about how Apple doesn't give enough integration into that touch bar so that developers could really use it for the things they want to do either.
Oh, it's useless. Again, they're running out of ideas, so they're just doing all these gimmicky things instead of stuff that's really revolutionary.
It's not good. And then you boot into Windows, and you're like, well, where's my function keys gone? Windows requires function keys.
That's right, and you can't use it. It's not integrated into Boot Camp. Well done.
Yes. But anyway, we'll
How are
see.
you supposed to get your word perfect help if you can't press F1?
Word perfect. God, that was horrible.
Wasn't it F12 or F11 for help or something back then on WordPerfect?
I loved word perfect. It was great.
Oh, it was crap.
Word perfect. I think my favorite
Why
button on
would
Word
you?
perfect was escape.
I showed my uncle all the Control B for bold and Control U for underline. He went to TAFE and he's just doing all that while he's there. And the teacher's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, you just do the keyboard shortcuts." She's like, "How do you do that?
Oh.
Can you?" stand up
Oh, he would have been a hero.
know what this is? You're amazing.
You're from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your name Michael J. Fox?
Oh, you are it. All right. Well, I think that's about all. I think you have one more, Jace. Do you want to quickly do that?
Go out on a funny note.
Yeah.
Public Wi-Fi company has demonstrated just how dangerous those complicated agreements can be by inserting absurd conditions that thousands of people unwittingly agreed to. Purple is a Manchester-based company that specializes in running Wi-Fi hotspots for brands like Legoland, Outback Steakhouse, and Pizza Express. This week, the company came clean about its 2-week experiment in which it inserted a community service clause into its terms of agreement. More than 22,000 people signed up to perform 1,000 hours of menial labor for the chance to check in on their Facebook and maybe...
How
look up
ridiculous.
In the blog post on its site, a Purple spokesman explains that the agreement requires users to do any of the following at Purple's discretion: cleansing local parks of animal waste, providing hugs to stray cats and dogs, manually relieving sewer blockages, cleaning portable lavatories at local festivals and events, painting snail shells to brighten up their existence, scraping chewing gum off the streets. There's also a prize offer for anyone who contacted the company and pointed out the clause. Only one person received a prize.
That's terrible.
Because no one reads those. No one reads that stuff.
Everyone's just like, next.
I don't know about any of those tasks.
No.
But I think the hugging stray cats and dogs is something.
Yes. Yeah, so
Yeah, be careful of those stray cats and dogs. I used to pet a
He puppy, rabies.
stray cats and I got ringworm from the damn things.
You know, if you went
Oh,
to China
buddy.
and tried to hug a cat, you wouldn't find one.
why are they
Or a
all
dog, for
eaten?
that matter. They're all being. They're on. You got to go to the restaurants. Sorry about
You
that.
can go to the cat cafes and cuddle cafes. They got cafes in Japan where you can pick a girl and she'll cuddle you for an
Go
hour.
back to Cuddle Cafe. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a special cuddle?
Oh, we
Could
like
be,
special
depends on
cuddles.
How much you're willing to pay? One of the guys I work with used to go to Japan all the time. We're like, "Oh, you're going to the cuddle cafe again?" Yeah.
Special cuddle.
Nice. All right. Well, on that note, I think we better get out of here. Thanks for listening. As I said, you can find us, search us up on the Facebook, search us up on YouTube and Twitter. Email us, Glenn Warlock or Eric with a K at aussietechheads.com.au. And you can hear us on the Aussie Tech Radio 24/7 back-to-back tech radio shows from Australia and a couple from New Zealand when they can make them. All right, so that's it. Thanks, Jace. Thanks for coming in. It's been good to
No
see
worries.
you.
Good to be back again.
And thanks, Eric. Thanks for coming in and having a chat.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we'll see you guys, or you'll hear us next time on for another episode. And I'm going to Sydney this week, so I'm going to buy a big jumper. So I'll see you guys next time. Okay, next week.
Click like and subscribe.
That's right. Subscribe and like and listen. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye. Aussie Tech.